All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're diving deep into Mesoamerica. We're going to uncover the secrets of two ancient cities, Teotihuacan and Cholula.
Yeah.
And we've got some awesome academic texts to help us out, covering everything from archaeology and history
Right.
to even get this a bit of astronomy.
Wow, astronomy, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Oh, it is. It is.
I'm excited.
So these sources, they give us incredible insights into how these civilizations viewed their place in the cosmos, how they wielded power,
Yeah.
and how they ultimately left their mark on history.
That's what I'm talking about, their legacy.
Exactly, their legacy.
Okay, let's do it.
So first up, we're tackling Teotihuacan.
Okay.
Now, even though it reached its peak way back around 1,500 years ago.
Wow, 1,500 years, that's ancient.
It's ancient.
Yeah.
It's still Mexico's most visited archaeological site.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that tells you something right there.
For sure, for sure.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, why is it so popular, you think?
Well, I think part of it is just the sheer scale and grandeur of the city.
Right.
But it's also the mystery surrounding it.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Like, we still don't fully understand who built it or why it ultimately collapsed.
That's so interesting.
It is.
All right, so tell me, what's remarkable about this ancient city?
Well, for one thing, it was meticulously planned.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we're talking a rigid grid system, a grand avenue. They called it the Avenue of the Dead.
Avenue of the Dead, that's ominous.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And get this, they even diverted the San Juan River to fit their plan.
They diverted a river.
Yeah, they literally rerouted a river.
That's incredible. They were like master engineers or something.
It is some serious engineering.
Yeah, for sure.
And it speaks volumes, I think, about their capabilities and the power of their elite.
Right, right.
This wasn't just about aesthetics.
Okay.
It was about control. Control over the environment and their society.
Yeah, it's like a statement.
It is a statement.
Yeah.
Imagine the resources, the manpower required to pull that off.
Yeah. Must have been massive.
Massive undertaking.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
this meticulous planning, though, it wasn't just for practical purposes,
Sorry.
right? It was tied to their religious beliefs.
Gotcha.
Specifically, the concept of the axis mundi.
Okay, the axis mundi.
Now, the Teotihuacanos, they believed
Yeah.
that their city, or maybe like a specific sacred site within it,
Okay.
was the center of the universe.
Wow, the center of the universe.
Yeah, the point where heaven and earth connected.
That's a powerful belief.
It is a powerful belief.
Yeah.
And it's a belief that was echoed, by later Mesoamerican cultures,
Oh, interesting.
like the Aztecs,
Okay.
who saw Teotihuacan's Pyramid of the Sun as the very spot where the current universe was created.
Oh, wow. So they inherited that belief.
They did.
That's fascinating.
So they were literally building their world around their cosmic beliefs.
Yeah.
It's like they were saying, we're at the heart of it all.
We're at the heart of it all, yeah.
Right at the center.
I love that.
And it goes even deeper than that.
Okay.
The Pyramid of the Sun, it's not just randomly placed.
Okay.
It's aligned with the Pleiades star cluster.
Oh, wow. The Pleiades.
Yeah.
So they were looking to the stars.
They were.
Yeah.
And guess what?
What?
The Pleiades, they first appear on the horizon each year
Okay.
on May 18th, which happens to be the traditional start of the rainy season.
Oh, wow. The rainy season.
Yeah.
So they knew when it was coming.
They knew
Yeah.
they were planning their city based on the stars.
That's incredible foresight.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like the level of astronomical knowledge that they had
Right.
is just mind-blowing.
Yeah. We don't always associate that with ancient cultures.
No, we don't, but
But they were clearly paying attention.
they were clearly paying attention.
Yeah.
It's a testament to how closely they observed the heavens and how they integrated those observations into their lives.
Those to every aspect.
Everything from agriculture to religion.
Fascinating stuff.
Now, speaking of impressive structures,
Okay.
we can't forget the Ciudadela complex
It's Ciudadela.
with
Okay.
its distinctive, talud tablero style pyramid.
Talud tablero. Remind me what that is again?
Oh yeah, it's those sloping walls
Oh, right.
with the rectangular panel.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You see them all over Mesoamerica.
Yeah.
And this pyramid, well, it may be linked to a deity
Okay.
that even predates the famous feathered serpent god, Quetzalcoatl.
Oh, wow. So even older than Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, we're talking about a potential precursor to one of Mesoamerica's most enduring figures.
So a really important deity then.
Very important. So we've got this incredibly planned city with cosmic alignments and powerful deities.
Yeah.
But what was daily life actually like?
Okay. Yeah, good question.
For the average person living in Teotihuacan.
The average Joe, what was it like for them?
Well, picture this.
Okay.
You're living in an apartment compound.
An apartment compound.
It was an enclosed structure, right? With rooms facing inwards.
Okay.
Often adorned with these colorful murals.
Oh, cool. Like their own little art gallery at home?
It's like having your own art gallery.
I like that.
At home.
Yeah.
And some of these compounds were occupied for centuries. Centuries. Possibly by the same families.
So like generations living in the same place.
Generations putting down roots.
Sharing stories?
Sharing stories.
Yeah. Wow, that creates such a strong sense of community.
It does. It does. And history.
And history.
Yeah.
But did they have a written language?
Oh, good question. To document all of this.
To like write down their stories, their history.
Yeah.
Did they?
Well, that's where things get interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
They didn't have a written language as we know it.
Okay.
But they did have a complex system of symbolic glyphs.
Glyphs?
Yeah, think of them as visual metaphors.
Okay.
Each one packed with layers of meaning.
So like symbols.
Symbols.
Intricate
symbols.
Okay.
And these glyphs, they give us valuable clues
Okay.
about their religious beliefs.
Awesome.
We see prominent deities like Tlaloc, the rain god,
Okay.
and a water goddess,
Okay.
possibly a forerunner to the Aztec goddess Teotihuacan.
Teotihuacan. Wow, that's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Yeah.
But they even unearthed a massive statue of this water goddess.
Oh, wow, a massive statue.
Massive.
Yeah.
Highlighting her importance in their society.
Okay, so she was a big deal.
Big deal.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing how these fragments from the past can kind of piece together a picture of this vibrant and complex civilization.
It's like a puzzle.
It is like a puzzle.
Yeah.
But Teotihuacan wasn't just an isolated city.
Okay.
Right? It had a significant influence on the Maya region.
Oh, the Maya. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. They were neighbors, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah.
In fact, conquered the powerful city of Tikal
Yeah.
in 378 CE.
Wow, conquered Tikal. That's a big deal.
Huge deal.
Yeah.
Tikal was a major Maya city.
Right.
So it's important to note that this conquest, it might have been influenced by internal Maya conflicts.
So like maybe some infighting among the Maya.
Yeah, like Tikal, for example, it lacked defensive walls.
Oh, so it was vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it was likely a combination of Teotihuacan's military might and, opportune timing.
So they saw an opportunity and they took it.
That led to their expansion
Makes sense.
into Maya territory.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a straightforward conquest. It was a confluence of events.
It's always more complicated than it seems.
Always more complicated.
Yeah.
And this, of course, led to Teotihuacano styles and symbolism spreading throughout the region,
Okay.
fostering a period of stability and trade
Right.
that lasted for centuries.
Wow. Centuries.
Imagine the cultural exchange.
Yeah, that must have been amazing.
That must have taken place.
Yeah, all those different cultures coming together.
Yeah.
That's what I love about history.
Exactly.
It's all about these connections.
The connections.
Yeah.
But, as with all empires,
Right?
Teotihuacan eventually met its decline.
Oh, yeah, nothing lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever.
Even the greatest empires fall.
So what led to its downfall?
Yeah, what happened?
That's a question that continues to intrigue archaeologists and historians.
Yeah, it's a real head scratcher.
But there's evidence
Okay.
of internal unrest.
Unrest.
Yeah, maybe even a popular uprising.
So like the people rose up.
Yeah, and also deliberate destruction of temples and monuments.
Wow, so they were destroying their own city?
It's like the city turned on itself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a dramatic and ultimately tragic end
Yeah, for sure.
to a powerful civilization.
Sad, but captivating.
But its legacy lived on, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Teotihuacan's influence on Mesoamerican culture continued to be felt long after its decline.
Right.
So a city of grandeur, innovation,
Yeah,
and a mysterious downfall.
for sure.
Teotihuacan definitely sets the stage for our deep dive.
It does.
But now, it's time to journey to another captivating city.
Okay, I'm ready.
Cholula.
Cholula, bring it on. Now,
Yeah.
Cholula, it's a city that often, gets overshadowed by its more famous neighbor, Teotihuacan.
Right.
It's just as compelling.
I agree.
Yeah, imagine a place
Okay.
that was this major religious and commercial center
Hmm.
for centuries,
Wow.
but then had its history, intentionally
Suppressed. Wow.
That's Cholula.
That's Cholula.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone tried to erase it from memory,
Right.
which is tragic considering its importance,
Yeah.
in pre-Columbian America.
It really highlights, I think, the impact of the Spanish conquest
Yeah.
and those deliberate attempts to, dismantle indigenous cultures.
To dismantle them.
Yeah. But despite those efforts,
Mm-hmm.
Cholula's story persists.
It does.
And it's one of resilience.
Okay, so let's rewind a bit.
Okay.
What made Cholula so important before the Spanish arrived?
Well, Cholula was this bustling hub of commerce and trade, renowned for its vibrant marketplace
Okay.
and its skilled artisans.
So like a real center of activity.
Oh, yeah. We're talking high-quality textiles, intricate pottery,
Wow.
and this, thriving trade network.
So they were connected
Oh, yeah.
to lots of different places.
Imagine merchants
Okay.
from all corners of Mesoamerica
Wow.
converging on Cholula
Yeah.
to barter and exchange goods.
I can almost hear the sounds of the marketplace,
Right.
the chatter of vendors, the clinking of coins.
Yeah.
The vibrant colors of textiles.
Yeah, the energy
Panoramic display.
on display.
It must have been a sight to behold.
It must have been.
Yeah.
And at the heart of this bustling city
Mm-hmm.
stood the Great Pyramid of Cholula.
Oh, the Great Pyramid.
This massive structure
Okay.
that might have also served
Mm.
as an axis mundi.
An axis mundi. Wait,
Yeah.
like the Pyramid of the Sun
Much like the Pyramid of the Sun.
in Teotihuacan.
Yeah,
So both cities
Mhm.
saw themselves
Yeah.
as the center of the universe.
it appears so.
Wow, that's fascinating.
I know.
Okay, so this concept of the axis mundi.
It seems to have been central to Mesoamerican cosmology. Right. It represents that sacred connection point between the earthly
Right.
and the divine.
The earthly and the divine.
Yeah.
It suggests this shared worldview
Mm-hmm.
that, transcended individual cities
Yeah.
and cultures.
It's like a unifying concept.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. That's fascinating.
It is.
But
Yeah.
as we know,
Right.
the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors drastically changed
Yeah.
the course of history for Cholula.
Things were about to get real.
Yeah. The arrival of Hernan Cortés
Cortez.
in the 16th century
Okay.
marked a tragic turning point.
Yeah, not a good time for Cholula.
No.
What happened?
Well, Cortés,
Mm-hmm.
under the pretense of thwarting a potential uprising,
Okay.
orchestrated a brutal massacre
The massacre.
of Cholula's inhabitants.
Oh, that's awful.
It's chilling, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a reminder of the violence
Mm-hmm.
and the brutality inflicted
Yeah.
upon indigenous populations during the conquest.
It's a dark chapter in history.
A very dark chapter.
Yeah.
A deliberate act of terror
Right.
to subdue the
To
population.
instill fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to further assert their dominance,
Okay.
the Spanish, they built a Catholic convent
A convent.
directly atop the Temple of Quetzalcoatl.
Oh, wow. So they literally built on top of their sacred site.
They did.
Yeah.
It's a symbolic gesture,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Of replacing indigenous beliefs
Right.
with their own,
With their own religion.
yeah,
It's like a physical manifestation
It is.
of their power
of their power.
and control.
They weren't just trying to conquer land. They were
Oh.
trying to conquer
Right.
hearts and minds.
To reshape their culture.
Exactly. They sought to rewrite history,
Mm-hmm.
to replace the narratives of the conquered
Yeah.
with their own version of events.
So control the narrative.
To control the narrative, yeah.
Yeah.
But Cholula's story didn't end there, did it?
No, it didn't.
So how do we know
Yeah.
about its pre-Columbian past?
Right. If the Spanish tried so hard,
If they tried so hard to erase it,
yeah, to wipe it out.
that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So
Yeah.
despite these efforts,
Mm-hmm.
fragments of Cholula's indigenous heritage survived.
Oh, wow. So there are pieces left.
There are pieces left, and we have sources like the Relaciones Geográficas.
Relaciones Geográficas? What are those?
They're these detailed descriptions of important cities in New Spain, compiled by Spanish officials.
So the Spanish were documenting this stuff.
They were.
Interesting.
So in a way, the Spanish were inadvertently preserving some of the very history they were trying to destroy.
That's ironic.
It is ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit of a stroke of luck.
Yeah, definitely.
For historians today.
For sure.
The Relaciones Geográficas, they were intended to document resources and demographics for the colonial administration.
Makes sense.
But they often included valuable information about indigenous customs.
Oh, interesting.
Beliefs. And even city layouts.
So they were like accidentally preserving this indigenous knowledge?
They were.
That's amazing.
And one of these Relaciones Geográficas includes an indigenous-made map.
An indigenous-made map? Wow.
Of Cholula.
Okay.
And what's fascinating is that it depicts both the Spanish grid system imposed upon the city and the original orientation of the Convento de San Gabriel.
The Convento de San Gabriel.
Which, of course, was built on the ruins of the Temple of Quetzalcoatl.
So even within this colonial document, there's like this subtle but powerful act of resistance.
I see that.
It's a preservation of indigenous knowledge.
It's a testament to the resilience of Cholula's indigenous identity.
Even in the face of oppression, they found ways to preserve their heritage, their understanding of their city, their connection to their past.
It speaks volumes about the strength of Cholula's people.
Yeah.
And their determination to keep their culture alive.
It's inspiring.
It is.
And that resilience is visible even today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cholula remains a place where indigenous traditions and Catholic practices intertwine in this like fascinating blend of culture.
The blend of cultures.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a living reminder of a complex past and the enduring spirit of its people.
So we have these two incredible cities.
We do.
Teotihuacan.
Yeah.
With its cosmic connections. And Cholula.
Yeah.
With its story of resilience.
Right.
Both centers of power and spirituality.
Absolutely.
In their own right.
Yeah.
But now, let's shift our focus to Teotihuacan's relationship with
the Maya.
Because it wasn't just a simple story of dominance.
Oh, okay.
You know, the traditional narrative often portrays Teotihuacan as this dominant force.
Right, like they were calling all the shots.
Yeah, almost like a cultural steamroller.
Yeah.
Shaping everything in its path.
Just crushing everything in its way.
Yeah.
But our sources suggest a far more nuanced interaction.
More nuanced, okay.
Yeah. It wasn't just Teotihuacan imposing its will on the Maya. There was a definite exchange of ideas, a cultural fusion. Kind of went both ways.
Oh, interesting. So it was more of a two-way street than a one-way conquest.
Yeah, precisely. And we see evidence of this exchange at Tikal. It's an apartment compound in Teotihuacan.
Okay.
And here, archaeologists have uncovered, get this, Maya-style murals and iconography.
Wow. Maya influence in the heart of Teotihuacan. That kind of changes things, doesn't it?
It does. It challenges that whole idea of, you know, one-sided cultural domination. Teotihuacan was powerful, yes, but it was also a place open to, you know, outside influences, a meeting point for diverse cultures, not just a center of imperial control.
That makes you wonder how these cultural influences spread, what those interactions actually looked like. Was it peaceful exchange, or was it a bit more forceful, maybe?
That's a great question, and one that archaeologists and historians are still debating. But there's one theory that links these exchanges to the ball game, that ritual sport played throughout Mesoamerica.
You mean that game with the heavy rubber ball and the hoop?
That's the one. Some scholars suggest that the ball game, with its, competitive spirit and ritual significance, might have actually contributed to the development of, specialized military institutions.
Right.
In both Teotihuacan and Maya societies.
So you're saying, friendly competition on the court could have led to more formal military structures. Huh. That's a fascinating connection.
It is. It highlights how interconnected everything was, ritual, sport, social organization, even warfare in these ancient cultures.
That's all connected.
It is. And speaking of complex interactions, there's the case of Kinechak's Kukmo. He was the founder of Copán's dynasty.
Okay, break that down for me. Who was this guy, and what makes him so intriguing?
All right, so Copán was a major Maya city located in what's now Honduras.
Okay.
And Kinishaks he arrived there with clear Teotihuacano influences, incorporated their imagery and symbolism into his rule.
Interesting. So like bringing a bit of Teotihuacan to the Maya world.
Exactly. But here's the twist. Evidence suggests he may have actually been a lowland Maya who adopted these foreign elements for his own political purposes.
So he was using Teotihuacano symbols to, like, legitimize his rule in a Maya city. That's pretty smart, actually.
Yeah, very strategic. It shows that these interactions were often driven by individual ambition and political strategy, not just, a passive spread of ideas. This guy, he was actively shaping those influences to fit his own agenda.
It's like he was playing the game of power, using those cultural currents to his advantage.
Exactly. And this reinforces the idea that the relationship between Teotihuacan and certain Maya cities was more like a pure polity situation.
Pure polity. What's that mean?
It means they were powerful entities engaging with each other on a relatively equal footing. Influence flowing in both directions.
Ah, I get it. So not a simple hierarchy, but a more balanced, dynamic relationship.
Precisely. And it's crucial to remember that the Maya world was this network of interconnected cities, each with its own internal dynamics. While Teotihuacan definitely had influence, Maya civilization was shaped by internal factors just as much as external ones.
So after all this talk about Teotihuacan, Cholula, their interactions, their influences, what's the big takeaway for our listeners?
I think the key takeaway is that ancient Mesoamerica was dynamic, interconnected. Cultures were constantly interacting, exchanging ideas, influencing each other, shaping history. Teotihuacan and Cholula, despite their unique histories, they offer us a glimpse into this vibrant tapestry of cultural exchange, political maneuvering, and ultimately resilience.
It really shows that history is never simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never just a one-sided story. It's all about these layers upon layers of influence, adaptation, and change. And it's about individuals, like that Maya ruler we talked about, using those currents to their advantage.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, what other hidden connections, what other complex interactions are out there just waiting to be discovered.
That's what makes studying the past so exciting, right? Always more to learn. So to our listeners, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep those brain gears turning. And as we wrap up our deep dive today, here's a thought-provoking question. What can we learn from Teotihuacan and Cholula about the relationship between political power, religious beliefs, and cultural identity? Something to ponder as you continue your own explorations. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through Mesoamerica.
At the end of this podcast, please share your thoughts on the book, and if you enjoy this content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.